welcome back, guys. Today I'm actually pretty excited. Why am I excited? Because I got these! Just came in the mail today, and I'm really jazzed because A, because I finally found some that I could get hold of, and B, because they are exactly what I was wanting. They're nice and thin. These are 5.5 inch long. They're really thin. They're not like popsicle sticks. They're not thick wood. They actually take paint color pretty well. Because I kind of put a brown wash on here and make it like a stain, and they do really well. It's a good wood, so I'm really excited. So that's one of the things we're going to get into. You can see, maybe you can see, I'll try to let you see that I have already started putting on a couple of test pieces, and they actually have come out really nice. I'm really excited to see the whole floor done up and how it comes out. The other thing that's pretty cool about them, if you can see, they actually warp a little, so I'm going to have some really cool things where some of the wood is kind of sticking up a little bit. And since this is going to be a really old floor, that's going to be pretty cool. So really excited about that. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to get into doing the wood door here. Show you what we'll do there, and then I'm going to try to, I'm actually going to make like a trellis for up here, a wood trellis for up in the patio area, so we'll try to get that done and see if we can't get the woodwork done today. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of take you through what I'm doing with the wood here. Basically, some of these out of the way. What I've got, when wood gets old, it gets really dark. I don't care what it started out as. It's, you know, if it's really old wood, it's going to be pretty dark. So I'm actually using some burnt umber here. Just dumped some of this in a cup and watered it way down, so I've got kind of a wash. Pretty thick wash, but it's still kind of a wash. A paper towel and a brush. Get your piece of wood. And just kind of brush. See where you can see this. Just kind of brush some of this wash onto the wood. Just glop it on there. And actually, if it gets kind of blotchy, that's good, because wood does that naturally when it gets old. So blotch that on there. And then I actually take it on the paper towel, wrap it up, and wipe it off a bit. Kind of like putting a stain on. Okay, so you can see it looks kind of like old wood. Then you just slap a little glue on the back, stick it down. Now, I don't know if you can tell on this, but this one, most of these are going to be a little bit warped. So if you don't want them sticking up, which I don't want a lot of that, you put some glue on there, and you're going to have to either hold it down or get a few on and get something to weight it down. Now the other thing I'm doing in here is, before I actually glue them down, I'll get the, because you're going to have to cut these. So I'm getting the next piece. I lay one piece over top of the other. See if you can see that. Like that. Take a pencil and mark where I need to cut. Okay, and then these things weren't cutting very well with a knife, even with a sharp one. So, got me a pair of snips. Line up where I need to cut. Bop. And these cut this stuff really easy. So, pick up a pair of these if you're going to do this, or I'd recommend you do that. So, we'll paint this up. take some white glue, put it on the back of both of these, and lay them in there. So this isn't really hard. I'm not going to show you all that. I'm going to go ahead and, while this is tedious and time consuming, it is not difficult. I mean, you've seen all the steps. That's all there is to it. So I'll do that, and then we'll come back, we'll take a look at how that looks, and then we'll do the door. Okay, so I finally got the floor done. Take a look at that, see how it looks. Yeah, it took quite a bit of time, but I think it came out pretty nice. This technique, I haven't done a whole floor like this before, so that was a little new, doing the whole floor. I've done little bits and pieces, but I like this. I think this would make a great floor for like a medieval tavern or something like that if you were building one. So anyway, that's done. Now we're gonna move on to dealing with the door here. Here we go. Okay, we're onto the door. So what I did is I had just a sheet of balsa here. I measured how big the door needed to be and cut this little blank out of the balsa wood. So it's just balsa wood. Now this is pretty thick, but that's just what I happen to have, and that's okay. So I check, make sure the door is going to fit. Fits in there pretty good. Okay, so now what we need to do is weather this thing. Now I want to put some decent grain in here. And the best thing I've found to do that with balsa is actually take a pair of tweezers, just get the edge of it and drag it along, and actually put some nice decent grain in there. Do different, vary your pressure so you get some deep grain and some shallow grain. And I know it's hard to see on the camera there, but once we get it painted up, it'll look better and be a lot easier to see. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. This is going to be really easy to paint up. It's just basically going to be kind of like what we did with the floors. We're going to stain it in a little bit. I'm actually going to dry brush a little bit over it to bring out the grain. So we'll do that next. Alright, nothing fancy here. We're just going to got some pretty thin paint. Kind of stain the door up. Alright, you can already see that's coming out pretty decent. A lot of nice grain in there. Now, I'm not going to worry about hinges because those are on the inside. I do, however, need to do something about a doorknob, so I'm going to have to go think about what I'm going to do for a doorknob. Be right back. Alright, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, but this is what I came up with for a doorknob. Basically what I did, this is just some air hardening clay. I rolled out a thin snake of it, really tiny. Wrapped it around the end of a paintbrush to get a nice circle. Then I just made another little snake, chopped that off, stuck it on here, kind of flattened the top of the circle out a little bit so this would have a place to fit. Stuck that on here and flattened it down here, and then once this hardens real good, I'm going to paint it up maybe like a dirty brass color, and then glue it to the door. So but I'm going to wait for this to harden real good first before we do that. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that to harden, another piece of woodwork we got to do. Get this out of here. Ooh, that's a tight fit. Is we're going to make a trellis for up here. Just balsa wood, and see if we can get that going. So let me get that started and we'll be right back. Okay, what I've done here I've got just some strips of balsa that we're going to use for the corner posts, one for each corner. And I've got 2 cross beams here. These are just balsa. So we're going to have, let's see if I can get you to see this. So set like this across the back. You know, the 2 posts and the cross beam. Set across the front. And then I'm going to use some more of the stir sticks, and those will go across the top like slats. I need to weather these things and make them look well, like they were put together by medieval architects. And so you're just gonna kind of hack this part here on the corners. Not too much because you don't want it round. Alright, so I got this finished. They're all just stained up. Same weathering techniques we've used for all the other wood here. Just, you know, wipe on the brown thin paint and then wipe it off with a paper towel. Nice weathered wood. I went ahead while I was doing that and cut and weathered the piece for in here. Not a big deal. I just didn't want to mix up another batch of wash, so I went ahead and cut that piece while I was in there. Alright, so we're going to start putting this thing together. Oh, that was quite the struggle to get that flipping thing on there. Alright, so we're going to let this dry real good, and then we'll put the cross pieces on. And remember how I said I didn't want to have to mix up another set of wash? Yeah, well, I'm an idiot. I didn't wash these, so. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, so I got the trellis done. Is that right? Is this a trellis? Maybe that's wrong. I'm not sure. But anyway, I've got these all glued down now. It's still drying, so I'm not going to do it right now, but you can actually, I didn't attach this to the porch, so this can actually just be lifted out of there to make access to the porch easier. Now, the other thing that I did, I said I was going to do the door in brass. However, I had kind of a happy accident. This doorknob was, the clay was actually kind of a terracotta color. It's kind of hard to see there, but I just for kicks, I put kind of a medium brown paint on it. Now, the paint wasn't really thin. It was kind of a 1-to-1 paint to water. But what I ended up with looked an awful lot like rust, and I really liked it, so I just decided to do it like that. Just make a rusty door handle. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the door in here. We'll put some glue on it. Make sure everything's still fitting. Put some glue on, and then we can call the woodwork done. And here we go. So I think the doorway came out rather nice. I like that. There's the flooring and the whatever this is called. And I think we're done with the woodwork. So next time we get to start working on the roof. That's going to be a little tricky, I think. I haven't exactly figured out how I want the roof shape to be, so I'll do some thinking on that. But until then, have a great day, guys.